Hey, what's going on, guys? Tre'Leon Bay here. Today's topic is, do you need a real estate license to wholesale properties? And one of the best things about becoming a wholesaler is you can jump right over all of the usual necessary steps to get into real estate, meaning that traditionally when people think about getting into real estate, they think that they need a whole lot of money to get started, or they think that they need credit to get started, or they think that they need to go out and go to school and get a real estate license in order to get started. And that's one of the myths about getting started in the real estate industry. If you have a passion or you have a want or desire to want to get started in this industry, wholesaling is one of the best things that you can do in order to skip right into taking action. All right, so you don't need a real estate license in order to do wholesaling, and the reason is because you're not representing a buyer or a seller. You're the principal in the deal, acting in your own interests as a real estate investor. All right, when it comes down to people who have licenses in order to do real estate, they're representing someone who owns a home, the seller, or they're representing someone who's looking to buy a home, the buyer, meaning that they're not acting on their own principle. They're representing other people. And so that's why you need a license in order to represent others, because you have to know that you're representing that other person in their best interest, and you have to follow certain ethics because now you're representing someone else. When it comes down to wholesaling, you're actually the investor. You're going in there as a buyer. You're buying the house from a seller. It's a direct transaction from someone who's looking to sell a property to someone who's looking to buy a property. You don't need a license to be able to buy a property for yourself. The difference between wholesaling is that a lot of times you're not going to go forward and actually purchase the property yourself. What you're going to do is assign your rights to purchase the property to someone else who's actually going to purchase the property, and now you're the in-between man. All right, so it sounds really similar to what a real estate agent does, right? Usually a real estate agent goes out and they go and they find a seller, right? And they say, hey, seller, I want to represent you because you have a property you're willing to sell. I'm going to find you a buyer. That's the difference between someone who's a wholesaler. They're saying, hey, seller, I see you have a property for sale. I actually want to buy your house. Either me or one of my partners are going to close on it. Those simple little words, and trust me, when I found this out, it blew me away because I'm actually a licensed real estate agent. I got started by becoming licensed, and I had no idea what wholesaling was. If I did, I wouldn't have never got a license, honestly, because I always wanted to be a real estate investor. And the lifestyle is, of course, totally different as well. When it comes down to, you being a real estate agent, then you have a broker that you have to sign up for. Like, it's mandatory for you, if you're a licensed salesperson, you have to sign up underneath a broker. All right, and they have certain rules and regulations that you'll have to follow when you become a part of a broker. And again, you'll be representing others who are actually owning a house or looking to buy a property. Versus if you're a wholesaler and you want to wholesale properties, you're going in there as the principal in the deal. You're going in there as the buyer who's buying a house, and then you're getting that house on contract, and you're getting control of the property in that way, meaning that you don't have to have a listing agreement or a buyer's representation agreement. Your agreement is the contract that you're signing with the seller saying that, hey, I want to purchase your house for this amount. That contract gives you now control to be able to go and assign your rights over to someone else who actually is going to buy it with cash. All right, so now I can go out and now I have this contract, and I'm not flipping a house at this point. I'm taking this contract and I'm flipping the contract over to someone who's going to buy the house. All right, so you also want to watch your terms and watch your language when it comes down to you becoming a wholesaler, because you can't use a lot of the terms and language that real estate agents use because it's not the same. All right, and so you can't go in there and say, hey, I'm going to find you a buyer, because you're not finding the seller a buyer. What you're doing is you're going and assigning your rights that you have on contract to buy the house over to someone else who's going to buy it. So you're just basically assigning the contract. That's all you're doing. So you do have to watch your language, because even though the roles look similar, they're totally different. So when I'm a real estate agent, then I'm a real estate agent. When I'm a real estate wholesaler, I have to take my agent hat off, and I'm no longer a real estate agent at that point. I'm now an investor, a real estate investor, and you have to be able to distinguish the two. All right? So that's the topic for the day, guys. Hope you got something from that. If not, just ask some questions down below, and I'll be able to answer you. Other than that, peace out.